My name is Mustafa Khamash. I'm an architect, founder of Kart Group in Dubai here from the last 15 years. Shape, I like very much the round shape, circle. It's perfection for me. You know, I like round table, I like round carpet, round ceiling, you know, I like it, that's it. Design usually is coming from my favorite things, which is around my inspirational, regional, local things. I get inspired from my surrounding. So those favorite objects, geometrics, patterns, you know, coming from the surrounding culture, you know, if it calligraphy, for example, or if it functional object, if it colors, you know, so we're trying just to get inspired from those, like, you know, shape or geometric or patterns, you know, to bring it into the I think we live in a place where we can say we are lucky to have Dubai win the bid for the Expo 2020, and that will change the shape of our industry significantly. You know, imagine in a year plus from now, when the Expo starts, you'll have like expecting 20-25 million visitors in Dubai. You know, 80% coming from the region and globally. Imagine how much like culture we're gonna bring in, potential of different businesses in design and not, and the expo itself, you know, as project, having project from pavilion like Calatrava, the UE pavilion, Norman Foster, you know, those like legacy, you know, for the design community and architecture. So we are lucky to assist and live this and see the Expo 2020 and the change in our industry, you know, before and during and after. You know, how we're gonna, you know, interact with this Expo, the benefits we will have as a designer, as a design community, you know, will change totally our vision of the future. It's in terms of geometry, calligraphy, shapes, colors, materials. It's subject to the space we are designers, how the space we are designing, what we are designing, what the reason what we are designing, what the functional design, what the relation of the space with the end user. So the use of this, you know, when I'm gonna and why I'm using a calligraphy in that part, to use it as a decorative element. If it's done by calligrapher in metal, in different material. So to create the relation between the space and the end user, you know, always we try to see the interest and the hobbies and the passion of the end users and implement to this into space. Those elements, that's geometry and shapes and calligraphies, and that's the objects where end user like to have in his space to create a personal relation between him and the space itself. You know, inspiration, I think, is in the air. You know, the way you breathe, the way you eat, normal thing that you do every day. You know, you wake up in the morning and you say, how can I create something different? How can I think creatively? You know, so your inspiration will come from your daily life. If where you travel, where you dress up, people you meet, where you do eat. So that means your surrounding, and you create your own surrounding. You know, that will give you the inspiration of the daily things. People that you discuss every day, your normal things, you know, daily things. You know, you could a taxi driver. I could be inspired from a security person. I could be inspired looking to advertising in the road, you know, or speaking with a friend, or going to a nice restaurant and you know, looking to the plate how they present it. They said, I love the shape, I like the color mixing, you know, between green and purple, you know, and that might create a carpet, green and purple in that, you know. So the inspiration is from your surrounding, you know. You don't have to go too far, you know. I don't have to go to the Hawaii to get inspired, you know. I get inspired like from my neighborhood, industrial, you know, from different perspectives. Always when we start to design any space, we look to the environment aspects, you know, and the social aspect, commercial aspect, and functionality aspect. So all this blend, you need to have the balance. You can't not create this balance into the project, you know, having the environmental, social, commercial, and functional in one space. So environmental aspect is very important, you know. Now we start to push a lot in a corporate section in a paperless offices, so, and reduce of plastic material, synthetic material, you know, and reducing of the waste of the construction itself, you know. That will help to create more sensitivity, you know, for the environmental aspect. Social aspects of the space, you know, the space should be very friendly use if it a corporate or residential or F&B. You know, you don't need like to go into spaces and say, where do I have to go? I don't know where I have to go. It should be a friendly, you know, social friendly. You see, you should feel, you know, in your comfort zone. When my project is successful, if I can put my end user into his comfort zone, you know, that means, you know, you are in a happy place where you feel you are home, you are safe, you know. That's very important. The commercial aspect, of course, our space should be, you know, commercially convenient for the customers, because it's a place where they can create business, they can create branding, revenues, and so on. So the last part, technicality and functionality of the space, it's essential. So all the details of the functional part of a space, if it's living room or dining room or working space or conference centers, or if it's a hub or factory, should be worked perfectly without compromising design or functionality to keep the balance. So that's the main things when you have to create a space to keep the balance between the different aspects, as we mentioned before. 2020 as an impact in the industry, which will change, let's say, as an expo, you know, will change the way of thinking of the industry in terms of the knowledge of new business opportunities, a new approach to the industry in terms of space. You see now the transformations of the space into incubators, accelerators, into not physical office, virtual offices. So we are into a transformation, and the 2020 it will work a lot into the future of the industry in terms of material, from nanotechnology from one side to the use of the physical space. Do I really need to use my workstation 8 hours a day? Not anymore. You know, you have to think, you know, we are into a satellite way of working. You don't work physically in one space. Once you have all the technology with you, you can work in any place you want, you know. So 2020 it will enhance this part, the futuristic part of the